All right, Manish, I guess we can start, and you can share your screen.
Okay, let me share.
Manish, can you hear me?
Yes, yeah. Let me share screen.
Awesome.
Can you see the screen?
Guys, can you please put something in the chat window just to let us know that if you can see the screen and you can hear our voice and Manish's voice as well. Awesome. Thank you for confirming, Sambir. Great. All right. So, Manish, I'm going to start with the first couple of slides and then you can take over.
Yeah.
Awesome. Great. So, guys, thank you very much for joining this session. This is one of the sessions in line of our initiative called Impact Salesforce Saturday. So this was something that we were doing with the name of Online Salesforce Saturdays, and we have rebranded it and we are calling it Impact Salesforce Saturdays now. We're trying to conduct a session every month, at least one session every month. We are trying to increase the number of sessions as well. So if you have already subscribed to our website, just be there and you'll get a notification as soon as we are scheduling a new session on the website. And thank you for joining in today. So today's session is about Winter 20 release highlights. Manish, you can, yeah. Guys, a little bit about New Delhi Salesforce Developer Group. Again, these are some of the regular slides that we have, but to give you an idea. So the group was revived. Again, it was already there, but it was revived in February 2016. And you can follow us on Twitter. You can also join the New Delhi Salesforce Developer Group Trailblazer community here. And we have a Facebook page as well. Great. So guys, giving you a little bit of idea, you must have heard about a lot about Salesforce Saturday, this and that. What is it? So it was started by Stephanie Herrera. She's a Salesforce MVP in Austin, Texas. And so basically the format was they used to meet up in a coffee shop or anywhere, they can find a space to share and learn about Salesforce every Saturday. Now it's a global phenomenon with more than 25 Salesforce Saturday groups. Again, it's actually more than that. That number has increased greatly. And these Salesforce Saturday groups are not sanctioned by anyone. It's not like developer groups or user groups, guys, that you have to take permission from Salesforce. Anybody can start these groups, right? These are very informal groups, but we are trying to come up with a manifesto for these groups. So that people have a little guidance on how to conduct these groups and how to join, how to start these groups, and why to start these groups. If you've already got a DG and UG group in your area, again, how Salesforce Saturday is going to differ from that, because there's no point in starting a Salesforce Saturday if you already got a user group or developer group in your area, and there's already a thriving community there. So from an India perspective, it comprises of online knowledge sharing sessions like these and trailhead challenges that we keep on doing from time to time. Great. So guys, this is a little bit about us, a little bit of our branding, right? So we thought, let's put this slide in there. So we are the New Delhi group leaders. We are also taking care of the Impact Salesforce Saturday. So my name is Atul Gupta. I'm a Salesforce MVP. I'm ATEX certified, and I'm the community manager at Mentorship Central. If you guys don't know about Mentorship Central, please do check it out. I've got more than 8 years of experience with Salesforce, and yeah, more stuff. And again, you can read all about this. We are going to be sharing these slides onto the same page where you have registered and found the registration link. We are going to share the recording of the session as well as the slide there. Then we have Nitin. He's co-leading the group. He's Success certified. He's a Pardot and Marketing Cloud expert. He's been a speaker, a blogger, and again, he's co-leading the group and also taking the charge of Impact Salesforce Saturdays. All right, so these are the links where you can follow us and join us on the Trailblazer community, on the Success community, on Twitter, Facebook, and for the content, for all of our content that we are right now producing, it's there on New Delhi sfdcdug.com. That's the website. And the older content we're trying to come up and post on the website, slowly and steadily. And now the star of the show, we've got Manish Thaduri. You all know him as a SFDC fanboy, or most of you must also be following his blogs, reading his Twitter handle. So he's a Salesforce Technical Architect at Kaleido in Singapore. He's a 7X certified developer consultant. He's also leading the Singapore dev group, and he's worked as an instructor. He's a blogger, obviously, and a speaker. Right? He never shies away from any speaking opportunity. So you can follow him on LinkedIn, on Twitter. You can also see his blog. So his blog, SFDC Fanboy, has been ranked in the top 10 developer blogs out there. He's got 135 badges and 3 super badges. Great. So that's about Manish. And Manish, the next slide, I guess we are going to be kicking off with the presentation. All right, Manish, I'll leave it up to you. If there's any more information you want to share with others about yourself, please do feel free to do so.
No problem. Thanks, Atul, for the introduction. Yeah. Nothing much to cover. I think you've covered everything about me. Yeah. So even if you have some questions on marketing cloud related stuff, I'm happy to help you. So you can reach out to me separately also, or even any questions you have related to Salesforce, I'm happy to help. Yeah. So this Salesforce Saturday, this I did it before with once with the New Delhi group as well. I mean, doing it now again for the second time. So this time I would be covering the Winter 20 release highlights. So before this, so this winter release, it has come up in October 11th, I think. So 10 days back, it was released into production instance to everyone. And September, it was available for everyone to try and access it in your sandboxes. I think by now it's already in production. So if you have already seen those features, then that's good. Probably you might not have seen everything because you might not have gone through all the features. So I've gone through. So this release was almost like 400 pages big, long release, and I've captured the highlights from that, and I'm trying to share with everyone. So the most important one and the main one is on Lightning this time, and a couple of them on Lightning flows also. So I'll be starting with Lightning first. So this time Salesforce has said that it will turn on Lightning for all orgs or all instances on a rolling basis. So that means if you have any users with this particular setting enabled, like Lightning experience user permission, if it is enabled, then they will automatically switch to Lightning. So even if they go back to Classic after they log out and log back in, they will again switch to Lightning immediately. So it's more like forcing everyone to be on Lightning. And even all the release highlights or all the release features that this time are, most of them are related to Lightning, very few on Classic, and even the new ones are definitely on Lightning. So some features are on Classic, but all the new features, especially the ones that you get on reports, you won't get it in Classic. So Salesforce has made it clear that all new features will be in Lightning. So, and it is also forcing everyone to switch to Lightning. So if your users are complaining that they are automatically switching to Lightning, then this is the reason. So their profile permission would have this Lightning experience user. So if that permission is enabled, they would automatically switch to Lightning. And also probably if you want a specific user to be on Classic for some reason, then you can remove this permission for them. So this is, so Salesforce says it's Lightning now or Lightning ready. And so to help you migrate from Classic to Salesforce, Classic to Lightning, they've introduced this Lightning configuration converter. It's a tool within your setup. You can access it. So what it does is you can scan your entire instance, and it will tell you so it will basically scan all your standard custom buttons and everything related to your classic org, and say these are the items that you need to migrate into Lightning, or these are the buttons that you need to convert into Lightning, so that these will be ready for Lightning. So for example, you have a custom button or a JavaScript button that must be converted into Lightning, right? So before it can be accessed in Lightning. So this tool, the Lightning configuration converter, will help you not only scan those, it will list down these are the items that you need to migrate, and it will automatically convert those buttons into Lightning. Let's say global action, probably a button would be converted into a global action. So once that is done, so that is the second step. So convert is the second step. Once that is done, you can deploy them into your production instance, and you can add them into your Lightning pages or even page layout. So wherever you feel that buttons are there, that needs to be done. So this converter basically identifies what are the items, and it will auto convert, but it won't place wherever it is needed. So it's up to you where you want to use those where you want to use those global actions. This is very useful. I've tried this and it works well. So if you still have not migrated to Lightning, this is a good start for you to explore and see how much effort is basically needed to do that migration. So that's on Lightning configuration converter. The next is on mobile app updates. So Salesforce has launched, they say it's a new version of mobile app. And so this is just if you are the first 1,000 admins to try this app, you'll get a free Astro plushie. So that's for that. So let's get into the features. So the features of that is, now you have an app launcher in your mobile app. Earlier there was no app launcher. So now it reflects, or it is very similar to your navigation bar or your navigation menu in your desktop version. So it will reflect the same as you see in your mobile app. So this is a seamless user experience, I would say. And even if you make any changes into your desktop version, if you if you reorder the items, that will reflect immediately on your mobile app also. And with this, you'll be it makes it easier to switch between the apps even on your mobile device. Earlier, you were not able to switch between apps in mobile app. And more on this on the mobile app. So few items, like few components, especially the related list components. So the list views and the related list and the related list quick links. So these three components, they have optimized it to be better viewed in mobile app. So, and also even for the new mobile app, these work. So basically all the desktop versions are automatically converted into your mobile version also. So mobile optimized based. And the view will also change based on the type of mobile that you use. So you can also set some permissions, like some settings, like number of records you want to display on your related list for your mobile specifically, that you can also change. So those are on the mobile app. So as I said, the main features for this release are on Lightning Flows. So these are quite a few. Let me go through them, and these are very useful. I thought the biggest release for Lightning Flows was last release and this release. So now you can start the flows on a schedule. So earlier it was like whether you can run it. There are auto launched flows. So those can be started basically from a trigger, or from a Visualforce page, but users have to click on that button, or some action has to be done for a flow to start. So now you can schedule these. So this is very similar to your, let's say, scheduled jobs. So you write all the code in your scheduled job and you schedule it to run at a specific time. Similarly, you can schedule this to run at a specific time, and the flow will run and no user action is needed for any on the screens. So how do you set it? So when you're creating a flow, you have to choose what type of flow it is. So it's a scheduled flow trigger, and you can set the schedule. You can run it, even the frequency is also there, whether you want to run it every day or every month. And you can also set at what time you want to start this. So one of the main use cases, you can say, let's say if you have a scheduled jobs to run every day, you want to send out an email to everyone saying what are the, let's say, pending tasks of yesterday which are not completed. That scheduled job, you can run it, and without writing any code, you can, even every Salesforce admin can do that. So that is the beauty of this. You don't need any developer or a coding to write code for a scheduled job. So that is very simplified for using a flow. And this is very minor. The activate button is now available even when you're on Flow Builder. Earlier, you have to switch back to the main flows and activate from there, but this is just a UI feature. And now you can add Lightning Web components into your flow screen. So earlier you were able to add, I think, Visual Force pages. Now you can add Lightning components also. Queries you can post, then at the end of the session, I'll go through them. You can still post on the chat. If I'm able to answer, I'll answer end of the session. If not, later in the after the session, I'll find out the answer and let you know for sure. Yeah. So Lightning Web Components. So even if an app exchange, if you install an app exchange, the app exchange, the app has a Lightning Web component that can also be included into your flow screens. Next, still continuing with the Lightning flows. Now the creation of any screens is very simplified, I would say. So let's say if you create a text field or text input text box on your flow screen, you have to define a variable for it and say this, let's say first name. So you have to create a variable for it first and then assign that value into that variable first name. And you have to use that variable throughout the flow. So that process is completely removed. You just have to create a text field, input text field, then that variable is automatically created by the flow. You don't need to manually create a variable for each and every field on the flow. So you can just directly reference that input text. So here it says, the example says mailing city, right? So city is a field on the flow. You can just type in and find out that field and assign or use that value wherever you want. So basically you can search based on the API names. So here you can type on the collection variables. It will show all your fields that you have created on the flows. And this is an optional. So if you still want to manually create variables, if you prefer that way, you can still choose that. So you can see there's an option, manually assign variables, and you have to create for each field, you have to create a variable for it and use it. And the existing flows will still continue to run. No issues with that. So no change or anything needs to be done for your existing flows. Yeah. This is a new component added into flows. It's called lookup. So this basically helps in searching users, or let's say any object that you want to search. If you want to display, if you want users to search in a Lightning flow screen, you can use this component. Earlier, right, it was very tedious to do this. You have to create a text field, and generally users would enter, let's say, Manish in that, and you have to create a button for it. When they click on it, in the backend, you have to run a for loop, go through all your contact records where first name matches with this particular field value that you have entered, and get those results. Now it's very simple. It's just drag and drop. You just have to drag and drop the lookup component. It will show. So you can see the result. It's just a lookup field, and you can just select what object that you want to search. It will say search accounts, and Once you enter, it automatically searches all those based on the match, similar to your lookup fields on your or just any lookup field on the page layout. So same works here also on in the flows. And you can assign a ID to it. Once you search for that account and you select that account, an ID, the Salesforce record ID will be assigned to that variable. Again, you don't need to create a variable. The variable is already there. You just have to use that ID wherever you want in the flow. It's very simplified version of lookups. And dynamic visibility or conditional visibility in flows. This is also very useful. Let's say based on the user input, you can define, you can show or hide the different sections in a flow, different sections in a screen, more like rendering, similar to your Visualforce rendering or components rendering. You can do that in flows. And you can just set, again, there's no coding here. You just have to set whether you want for each section, when you want to display that field. So here, let's say there is a checkbox, ship to a different address. Only if someone checks that box, you will see the below screen with all those additional fields. Otherwise, the section would be hidden for the users. This is very dynamic and basically based on your filter conditions, you can define any kind of logic to show or hide these components. And this works for a single field or multiple fields also. Yeah. And also even for pick lists, this works, yeah, which is very useful. Now, I'm not sure if you have tried Notification Builder. So Notification Builder is, you want to create any notifications, it appears. So you create a filter condition, say when an opportunity is closed, you want to notify this particular set of users. So you can just define those and a notification pop up on the right hand side top corner, you'll see the notifications, right? So those will be appear to the user. So now those notifications, you can link it to your flow builder. So from the flow builder, you can call those notifications and trigger those notifications. So on your flow screen, if someone clicks on next page, so they've entered all the information, clicked on next page, you want to trigger that particular notification, you can just use those notification ID in your flow builder and call that notification. And this also supports notification builder was earlier only supported in process builder. Now it supports in your flow builder also. So all these three are linked to each other. And I think this is the last one on the flows, much improved UI. I think last release was based on the colors and all. Now this release is more on the labels. You can see all the labels clearly, and most importantly, you can drag and drop selections. You can select few components and you can drag and drop, or you can reassign or rearrange the items on the flow. More on the UI for this. Yeah. Now, so those are all on Lightning flows. Now we have a few on reports, and these features, as I said, reports features are purely on Lightning. You don't see these features in Classic. And one of the very useful ones, which I've already started using, is the unique count. Now you can see unique counts in your reports. Earlier, I'm not sure if you have heard of power of one trick. If you have extensively used reports, you would have come across the power of one trick as a workaround for this unique count. But now Salesforce has already provided this social unique count. Let's say if you want to see the number of unique customers closed on a particular date, you would not be able to get that. You have to create a formula and do some formula sum on your reports to do that. Now you can get unique count of customers in different, there are many use cases for this, but a very useful one. And how do you enable it? In your reports and dashboard settings, you will see this enable the row count aggregate. Again, it's only for Lightning experience, as I said. So you have to enable this to view that feature. And now in your filters, very useful one. This is my favorite, and very frequently users or customers keep asking for this. So you can compare your fields, let's say close date, to another field. So if your close date matches within, let's say close date is within that deadline, you can say you want to pull only those reports, only those records in your report. So that can be done. So comparing field to field, not just field to a static value or a text or value. Now you can compare fields in your filter reports. And for this, you have to enable it. You have to enable field to field filtering in your reports. Again, this is only for Lightning experience. So those are all on the reports. And now getting more into a developer related or coding related ones. This is an old one. Lightning Web Components, as you know, is an open source. It's available for open source. So now you can build the components on any platform, not just on Salesforce, and use or explore, or you allowing it other technology users to explore this LWC and build components on this, build components using LWC. So that's nothing new. What's new here is you can build custom tabs based on your Lightning Web Components. Earlier, you can build your custom tab based on your custom object or Lightning Visual Force page, also sorry, Visual Force page. Similarly, you can now build Lightning Web Component tab as a custom tab. So when you build your Lightning component, you just have to enable this. You have to add this tag target as Lightning tab. Then it will be available in your tabs to select. Then you can show this Lightning component as a separate tab for your users. The new one is on WeChat and WhatsApp integration. Salesforce is doing it by themselves, but this is still in pilot. So it's not released to everyone, not generally available yet. Only for few selected customers, it has started to implement this based on the requirements. So I haven't got any features, what features it supports, anything we don't have. But if your clients are looking for anything related to this WeChat or WhatsApp, especially for Service Cloud, you can contact your account executive or the support team to get this thing started for you. This integration is very useful, as I said, for Service Cloud, for your customer support. If you want to raise any cases related to your WhatsApp, those can be done using that. Account team member, it's a new object on your instance. Account team member was there. Now what they've done is they've improved, they've made it as an object. So now you can treat this as a separate object, and all the features that a normal object would have, you will get in this account team member. The fields, page layouts, triggers, validation rules, even process builder will be able to support your team member. The good example is for a team member, generally use this for along with your opportunities, right? You want your opportunity to be linked to 2 different sales people. You add account team members into it. So 3 different sales people are working on the same opportunity. You generally add a account team member to it, and very useful if you want to split the claims or split the percentage, sales percentage or the profit percentage among those 3. You can directly use those, and you can write triggers on it and process builder. So very useful and very simplifying the process of account splits. Now you can have permissions for your custom metadata types. So you can define this particular custom metadata type will be available only for, let's say, this set of profiles. That can be done. Or even even to a particular or a single user, you want to assign this custom metadata type that you can do. So your permission sets will have this new permission to assign custom metadata types. And lightning record pages, these now lightning record pages support your phone. So you can, earlier when you create a lightning record page, it was purely for your desktop. You were never allowed to use it in your mobile version. So now the mobile app can see the lightning record pages, and also you can set how you want to display in mobile and how you want to display in your desktop. So when you create a lightning record page, it will show, you can see here, whether it's what is the default version of it and whether it's enabled for phone or not. So the last one you'll see opportunity page for mobile users, you can see it's only assigned to phone. So this page you can only view it from phone, but cannot be viewed from your desktop. So why you need two different versions is, so on your mobile screen you probably don't need to display all the sections that you would display in a desktop version, right? So you can limit and have a different version for mobile users. And your record pages, you can also set, let's say there's a lightning, there's a component, let's say your related list, you want to display only for desktop users, not for your mobile users. You can set that in the filter conditions or the component visibility condition. So you'll say this component, you will say, so the filter criteria here is device. So you will choose the device form factor is equals to phone. So if the form factor is phone, this page will be displayed, or this component will not be displayed. So that you can set. So based on the form factor that you're using, the components visibility will be set. This is the last section. These are some very minute updates, very few, but useful ones, but very minor and mostly on UI related ones. So if you are willing or interested in learning Marketing Cloud, Salesforce has started to give out a Marketing Cloud simulator. So you can get hands-on on your Marketing Cloud instance. You don't have login access or anything, but just this is currently available from your Trailhead badges. So if you search for any mobile Marketing Cloud Trailhead module, you would see a Trailhead simulator. So basically what it does is, this is like, so you would see the screen of Marketing Cloud, how it looks, what are the tabs that you can see, and based on the badge, let's say take a module, email templates or creating an email. So it would say in the simulator, once you launch the simulator, it will say click on this email studio. So you can click on that email studio and it will open that email studio page. You'll not be able to click on other parts of the page, because that module is specifically for email studio. So once you click on email studio, it will open all your email related components, and it will say click on, let's say, new email. That button will be highlighted. So it's a simulation of your Marketing Cloud. Very useful. At least you will be able to visualize what and see, basically visualize and see what Marketing Cloud looks like, instead of just imagining things. Now you have a view of what you're learning for Marketing Cloud. So not everything is there. Now currently it's only available for email templates and sending emails, but once, I think it has already started. So every new module that Salesforce releases for Marketing Cloud, you would have this Trailhead simulator. So as I said, this is only available from your Trailhead modules. I'll add links to this at the end of the, I think there are links to this at the end of the slides. You can use that to find this Trailhead simulator. Recycling bin, it's very minor. This was only available in Classic. Finally, they have moved it into Lightning, and they have added some features like what do you say? You can view, restore, and permanently delete the items from recycling bin. Nothing much on this. Just to know that it's available now in Lightning. The other one is My Team's Opportunity. It's a filter. Earlier it was not there. It's a new thing. You can now directly view your team's opportunities. And another minor one, complete tasks in a single click. So when you open your tasks list view, you can see the statuses of each task, and from that screen itself, you'll be able to change the status. So you don't need to open that task and change the status and close it. From a list view, you'll be able to change the status. Currently, it's only available for tasks, I think, but this is a nice feature to have for other objects, or especially for your custom objects. But it's a nice one to have. The printable view is now available even for list views. So earlier it was only, I think it was only available for your record pages. Now it's on list views also. Once you click on that printable view, it will show this compact version to print. And you can now add signature to your email templates. And in your email settings, you'll have that signature, and you have to use this code sender.signature merge field. It's a merge field. Anywhere you put this merge field, that signature from the email settings would appear in your email or in your email template. Very simple, but useful one also. And this is the last one, minor updates. Your approval processes, the limits have increased. So now your org can have up to 1,000 active approval process and a total of 2,000. So earlier it was only 500 or 300, I think 500. Now it can have up to 1,000 for the total, and for each object you can have up to 300 active approval process. And your approval processes, now you can use notification builder to choose the desktop and mobile delivery channel. So for example, your notification builder, you want to send that notification only to your desktop users, not mobile users, or you want to send only for mobile users, that you can do it using notification builder. And that also applies for your approval request. So approval notifications and notification builder is connected now. And as I said, you can define the delivery channels. So the custom flow, the flow builder, notification builder, approval process builder, these are all interlinked, and you can use all these with the notification builder seamlessly. I think that's all on the updates. So these are the resources I said. It's also available on my blog, the winter release highlights. More in detail, I would say, on my blog than this, because there's a time constraint on this. So I didn't go through most the not so important ones, but I covered the major ones here. And the standard release notes from Salesforce is also available, and it's also available on Trailhead. But the Trailhead one is mostly related to your maintenance certification questions. It doesn't cover everything. Yeah, I think that's all from my side. Let me check if I've got any questions. And if I'll try to answer, if not, I'll just get these answers later. Way to track execution of scheduled flows. Way to track execution of scheduled flows. Good question. So I'm not sure if that, so basically the flows would have whether it's running or not. We can check if they've added, let's say, similar to your scheduled jobs, Apex jobs. I don't know if they've added scheduled flows. I think it should be available within the flows itself, because on the flows, it will show active flows and the paused flows. It should show the scheduled flows also there itself. I don't have a screenshot of it, but it should be available there. Another question from Zombie regarding flows auto scheduling. Say if on any Saturday, if any opportunity gets closed on, we can schedule launch a specific flow using this winter 20 update, or is it specific data in time only? Okay, if an opportunity gets closed on, we can schedule launch. Okay, so you've talked about two scenarios. So when an opportunity gets closed on, you want to schedule the launch. So that is a triggered launch. It's not scheduled launch because it's based on a trigger. That trigger is your opportunity status is changing. So it's a trigger, and you have to launch an auto launched flow. It's called auto launched flow. So you basically create a flow, and on your trigger, you will start this flow. So it's not scheduled flow. The scheduled flow is different. So you want to run every Monday, you want to run this irrespective of your status or anything. You want to run this every day or every Monday. That is a scheduled flow. But in your scheduled flow, you can set, if you're running on every Monday, you want to see, you can set the condition. You want to filter only opportunities that are closed. That you can do. That you can still do. So you have to see what is the triggering point, whether only opportunity close you want to run this, or you want to run every Monday. So if you want to run every day, that is a scheduled flow. If you want to run based on a triggering point or a field value changes, then that is an auto launch flow. I hope I'm clear on that. I'll go to the next one. Is there any impact on Marketing Cloud October release on the existing system? Marketing Cloud. So Marketing Cloud has its own release cycles. It's not related to the Salesforce. So these features that I've talked is purely related to Sales and Service Cloud and few of the Community Cloud. But Marketing Cloud has its own release. It's independent of this release. Yeah. It would be helpful if you can demo for 2 to 3 minutes to show Trailhead Simulator. I'll check Atul if they have time. I can definitely show that. Thanks. There was a great session. Thank you. No problem. Atul, how are we on the time for this? So, because they're asking for a demo to show the Trailhead Simulator. Do we have time or? Let me open. I think it doesn't take much time. So I just clicked search for Trailhead Marketing Cloud Simulator, and I'm opening one of those. See, here you can see, can you see my screen? Let me share my web browser. I think you're seeing the. Yeah. Can you see my web browser?
Hi, Manish. I'm back. Sorry, I got a phone call. Yeah, please.
So I was just checking if we have enough time because they wanted to they were asking to show me few features.
Yeah,
so,
that's totally fine.
yeah.
Yes, we can take care of it. Yeah, sure.
So I just, okay. They were asking for Marketing Cloud Simulator. So you can just search for Trailhead Marketing Cloud Simulator, and you can see there are Trailhead modules on this. So I open this send email. So this is a module on send email, and here it says launch the Trailhead Simulator. So all the steps are here. If you click on the launch this button, it will open up this. So this is how it's like. This is like a CMS. If we have so if you click on begin, it will show your Marketing Cloud screens specifically related to your creating an email. So here it says, you can see define properties, add content, preview and text. So if I click on anywhere, it will show what I have to do. So it says you have to click next. So if I click on next, it will show this page. So you can see this is, now we are in preview and test tab. It says click on this folder icon, select a recipient. So it's asking to select data extensions, NTO subscribers data extension, and it's asking to click on a particular contact and click on select. So the email is previewed for that particular user. So this is how a Trailhead simulator looks like. It is exactly the screens of Marketing Cloud, and you can just you just have to follow the instructions what that simulator is trying to tell you. Yeah, that's all. I think I've covered all the questions also. Anything else? If you want to reach out to me, you can reach out to me on my Twitter, sfdcFanBoy. I'm happy to help. Yeah. Atul, anything else before we close off? Thanks, Us. Thanks everyone for attending. We'll try to do this again for the next release. Let's see.
Thank you very much, Manish. This was
Yeah.
really, really informative, and thank you very much for joining on the festival of Diwali. And again, you guys are definitely hungry for knowledge, and that's why you joined in on a Saturday and also on Diwali. And Manish, really thanks to you for taking out the time and doing this. Again, we were trying to schedule this, but yeah, we finally got it. Awesome. So great. So we've got. Arunji is saying, but we have a Marketing Cloud release on 26th October, so there is any impact of it on the existing system. Manish, if you can answer that last question and we can say goodbye to everyone.
Yeah, I think I already answered this. Marketing Cloud release has its own release schedule. The features that I've covered are purely for Sales and Service Cloud. This release is not impacting Marketing Cloud, or the Marketing Cloud release will not impact the Sales or Service Cloud release. Both are independent features. Yeah.
Lovely. Sounds good. Sounds good. All right, Manish. That's it. Okay. Thank you very much, guys. Thank you for joining in. And again, I wish you a very happy Diwali to you and your family. And Manish, thank you very much for joining in. And
Thank you. Thanks for organizing this. Yeah.
for sure.
Thanks.
For sure. And
Thanks,
guys,
Nitin. Bye.
we'll have the PPTs and the recording up and running maximum by Monday on the same website page where you registered. All right. Awesome. Thank you, Manish. Thank you, Nitin. See you. Bye.
Okay.
Yeah.
See you. Bye.